All right, I'm back. I'm back, y'all. I had went and worked out, got me some food, drank me some water, and now I'm back, baby. I'm back, baby. All right. So we finna get right into chapter 5. This is probably gonna be the um, hardest, hardest chapters for me. And that's networking. I wanted free Popeyes last night. Why didn't you get free Popeyes last night? Panda, what's the word, man? What's the word, man? The bill was $17. Unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Very much so unfortunate, bro. Let me pull up my Y'all, I'm not ready for this chapter though, bro. How long I'm gonna be on this? I hopped on FanDuel, threw $10 on blackjack, turned it into 27 and left. They got blackjack on FanDuel? Huh? When did that happen? I thought FanDuel was just sports betting. Y'all letting them fry it, bruh. Okay. So chapter 5, comparing local networking hardware. They got a whole casino on the bros. On the bros, Crody. Let me see. Network support is a great competency competency for IT technicians at all levels to possess. In today's environment, standalone computing is a rarity. Just about every digital device on the planet today is connected to external resources via a network, whether it is a small office, home office network, a corporate wide access network, or to the internet directly. The ability to connect, share, and communicate using a network is crucial for running a business and staying connected to everything in the world. As a Comptia A Plus support technician, if you understand the technologies that underlie both local and global network communications, you can play an important role in ensuring that the organization you support stays connected. This module will help you understand how different types of networks are categorized and how to compare and contrast network cabling, hardware, and wireless standards. Prepare for A Plus Core 1 by comparing network types, comparing network hardware, explaining network cable types, comparing wireless network types. What's this? The training or the labs and stuff for the Comptia A Plus certification. And I told myself I'm going to take this extremely serious. Yeah. So that's why we're here, brother. I can make myself a little smaller. Okay. Network types. Core 1 exam objectives covered. 2.7 compare and contrast internet connection types, network types, and their characteristics. As an IT professional, you have been tasked with configuring and setting up the network for a small business. The business has multiple offices throughout the area. You will be responsible for helping decide what is the best network type to use for the client. A network type categorizes the area over which the parts of the network are damaged. Being able to use the correct terminology to classify the scope of a network and distinguish its specific requirements will enable you to assist with installation and support procedures. In this lesson, you will learn the different types of networks and when each type will be used. Learning outcomes. As you study this lesson, answer the following questions. What is a network that covers the area equivalent to a city known as? A user has connected a smartwatch and earbuds to their cell phone over Bluetooth. What type of network have they created? You have been tasked with creating a network in which each segment of the network is designed as a modular function. What type of network are you creating? What is the whole site that is dedicated to provisioning server resources called? Which IEEE Ethernet standards are most cabled LANs or local area networks based on? Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, LAN, local area network. I just learned about this because I was studying for my Net Plus, so I should be brushed up on some of these skills. So let's see if we can get through this in a decent amount of time. A local area network is a group of computers connected by cabling and one or more network switches that are all installed at a single geographical location. A LAN might span a single floor in a building, a whole building, or multiple nearby buildings, a campus. Any network where the nodes are within about 1 or 2 kilometers or about 1 kilometers, I'm sorry, or about 1 mile of one another can be thought of as local. LAN cabling and devices are typically owned and managed by the organization that uses the network. Okay. Hold on. Bring up this so I can see who joined. Most cabled LANs are based on the Ethernet standards maintained by the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, the IEEE. The IEEE, IEEE, I'm going to just say that. The IEEE 802.3 standards are designed or are designated X base minus Y, where X is the nominal data rate and Y is the cable type. Okay. We need that. For example, 100 base T refers to fast Ethernet over copper twisted pair cabling. Fast Ethernet works at 100 megabytes per second, or megabytes per second. 100 base T refers to, 1,000 base T refers to gigabit Ethernet over copper twisted cabling. Gigabit Ethernet works at 1,000 megabits per second, or 1 gigabits per second. What 1,000 base minus T is the mainstream choice of standard of most LANs. 10G base minus T refers to cabling standards working at 10 giga. Let's just look it up, bro, so I don't keep gigabits per second. All right, lowercase is bit, uppercase is byte, bro. All right, just wanted to make sure, bro. I knew that, bro. Just to make sure I knew it. I knew that, bro. So, why am I? Oh, I didn't go live on over here. Sorry. All right. The majority of LANs will use copper cabling, which uses electrical signaling to communicate data. Oftentimes, the backbone of the LAN or some special Ethernet networks will transmit data over fiber optic cabling, which uses pulses of light to communicate data. So WAN, which is wide area network, where a LAN operates at a single site, a wide area network spans multiple geographic locations. One example of a WAN is the internet. A global network. Oh, hold on. Let's take note of that. A global of networks. A company dedicated to facilitating access to the internet from local networks is called an ISP, or an internet service provider. All right, let's move. Most private or enterprise WANs use cabling and equipment leased from an ISP to interconnect two or more LAN sites. For example, a company might use a WAN to connect branch office sites to the LAN at its head office. Wireless LANs, so WLANs, a wireless local area network uses radios and antennas for data transmission and reception. Most LANs are based on the IEEE 802.11 series of standards. IEEE 802.11 is better known by its brand name Wi-Fi. Oh, so 802.11 is Wi-Fi. Okay. Wi-Fi and Ethernet technologies complement one another and are often used together as segments within the same local network. This allows computers with wired and wireless networking adapters on the same LAN to communicate with one another. Okay. Um, Metropolitan area networks. The term metropolitan area networks can be used to mean a specific network type covering an area equivalent to a city or other municipality. Let's move, bro. Let's move. Let's move. It could mean a company with multiple connected networks within the same metropolitan area. Basically, a man will be larger than a LAN, but smaller than a WAN. What did he say? All right. So a PAN, which is personal area networks, a personal area network refers to using wireless connectivity to connect to devices at a range of a few meters. A PAN can be used to share data between a PC and mobile devices and wearable technology devices such as smartwatches. It can also connect PCs and mobile devices to peripheral devices such as printers, headset speakers, and video displays. The most common example of a PAN is wearable Bluetooth technology such as earbuds and smartwatches connected to the cell phone on a person. As digital and network functionality continues to be embedded in more and more everyday projects, typically referred to as the Internet of Things or IoT, appliances and clothing, the use of PANs will only grow. Okay, makes sense. Storage area network, which is a SAN. A storage area network refers to a specialized network that is dedicated to storage devices. Servers can connect to the storage devices as if they are directly attached. The key characteristics of a SAN include dedicated network. The SAN must be attached. Hold on. The SAN must be attached to a dedicated network that is independent of the LAN. This ensures that the SAN traffic does not interfere with other network operations. Block level access. Data sent across the SAN is transferred in raw chunks of data with no file system structure called blocks. This allows for efficient data transfers and flexible storage management options. Block level access. Okay. Consolidated storage. Multiple types of storage, such as RAID arrays and tape drives, are joined together in the SAN, which sets up centralized storage resources for servers. Okay. High speed SANs. SANs will typically utilize high speed connections such as fiber channel. You giving sauce out, niggas need to be tapped in, not gonna lie. That's what I'm saying though, bruh. My dog J.O., I'm saying though, bruh. Like, I had to pay like $800 for this. So I just get on here streaming just in case people need to get that information for free. But they gotta stay wherever I'm at. So if they ain't tapped in, bruh, hey, I mean, SANs would typically utilize high-speed connections such as fibre channel or internet small computer system interfaces, which is the ISCSI for data transfer. Tight. Makes sense. All right, let's move, y'all. Okay. So small office, home office, and enterprise networks. Let's see. A small office, home office LAN is a small network, possibly using a centralized server in addition to client devices and printers, but often single or using a single networking appliance to provide LAN and internet connectivity. This is often referred to as a SOHO router, internet router, or broadband router. SOHO networks are typically designed to support a small number of users. So I think that's something like that you use at home, if I'm not mistaken. Now you're doing it right. Having this under your belt just makes job search easier, bro. Because the degree ain't even helping me, bro. I need this. Not many people certified in Comptia, and we need those. That's a fact, bro. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. This step one for me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Let me see. Typical Soho network layout. So you have the switch, and then you have the switch ports. Switch ports goes to like the local private networks around the crib, and then you could connect your devices to this, which is your Wi-Fi router boxes. So this is your switch router, pretty much. Um, no, this is your router. This is your switch. This is your devices. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Networks supporting larger businesses or academic institutions have networking appliances with the same basic functions as a SOHO router, but because they support more clients with a greater degree of reliability, each function is performed by a separate network device. The following graphic illustrates how an enterprise LAN might be implemented. Each segment of the network is designed as a modular function. Client computers can and Client computers and printers are located in work areas and connected to the network by cabling running through wall conduit. Laptops and mobile devices connect to the network via wireless access points or APs. Network servers are separated from client computers in the server room. Work group switches connect each of these blocks to core slash distribution switches, routers, and firewalls. These network appliances allow authorized connections between the clients and servers. Positioning network components: patch panel, wall ports, work area. So your work area goes to the wall port. The wall port connects all the way to the patch panel, and the patch panel connects to the switches, and the switches connects to the core. Right? That makes sense. Access points. Access points reaches the phones. The access points reaches the phones and the laptops, etc. The things that are not hardwired is basically what that's saying. Remote access and VPNs. Let me see if I did this right. On the top left, the work area is connected to wall ports. These devices are linked to the patch through cables. The patch panel connects to work group switches, like I said. On the right, there is another work area that includes wireless devices such as laptops, smartphones, and tablets. These devices communicate with the network wirelessly, not hardwired, through the access point, which also links to the work group switches. The work group switches are connected to the core or distribution. The core or distribution further connects to the network servers or printers, DMZ, remote access or VPNs, and internet service providers. There we go. We learning something now, fellas. Internet services are placed in protected screen subnets, which represent a border between the private LAN and the public internet. Traffic to and from this zone is strictly filtered and monitored. Network border services provide internet access for employees, email and communications, remote access, and WAN branch office links via VPNs, and web services for external clients and customers. All right, so let's move. I think I get that. I know what that means. Data centers. Most networks distinguish between two basic roles for the computers. A server computer is dedicated to running network applications and hosting shared resources. A client computer, which is the ones that they work on, allows end users, which are the people that are not the people that run the servers, to access the applications and resources to do work. So the people that need to access the software, let's say that you're a pharmacist and you need to access the software that is used to push the medication, you would use a client computer, but the client computer does whatever the server computer tells it to do. All right. On an enterprise LAN, server computers are hosted in a separate area referred to as a server room. Nice. A company with high server requirements might operate a data center. However, a data center is a whole site that is dedicated to provisioning server resources. Most data centers are housed in purpose-built facilities. A data center has dedicated networking, power, climate control, and physical access control features, all designed to provide a highly available environment for running critical applications. Nice. I get that. Small office, home office, enterprise, and personal networks. I already watched. I already reviewed this pretty much. So we can just move this to the end. Next. Okay, so 5 questions, 80%. In order for me to pass, I think I got this in the bag, bruh. So let's see. Let's see how we're gonna do on this. Come on, bruh. All right, bet. Question 1. What is an example of common PAN technology? That's personal area network technology. PAN is Wi-Fi. Yeah, PAN is Wi-Fi. No, Bluetooth. PAN is personal area networking, which is headphones, computer mice, and stuff like that. Ooh, almost tweaked early. All right. Which of the following features is typically included in a data center to ensure a high level of availability? Climate control. Which of the following is a characteristic of most private or enterprise wireless area networks? Uses equipment leased from an ISP, only operates within a single building, consists solely of wireless connections. Uses equipment from an ISP. That got to be right. Which type of network is best suited for a company that operates across multiple locations in a city? In a city. Metropolitan area networks. Which device is responsible for forwarding traffic between networks? Switch. That got to be a 5 out of 5, y'all. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. I was too confident, bro. I was super confident. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No. Why did I know that it was going to be this one? Traffic between networks. No. Router. When sending data between networks, the router is responsible for forwarding the data to the proper network. I got to do it again. I was close. I passed, but I was close, though. How I get all the other ones? That was the easiest question on the quiz. Nah, that's bad. That's the easiest one on the quiz, though. Router. In a city, that's the metropolitan. Climate control. Uses leased equipment from ISP. And then the PAN, that's Bluetooth. That one almost stumped me up, though. I ain't gonna fake. That one almost did it to me. I ain't gonna fake. It did. That mug almost did it. But now we good. This should be we can score that. Let's move on though. I feel good about this though. I got through that one quick. Yeah, that's cool, bruh. All right, so we move on. Network hardware, bruh. Network hardware. Now that you have decided on the best network type to set up for the client, you are responsible for gathering the required hardware that will be needed to set up the network. In this lesson, you will learn the different components that make a network operate and how to set them up. Learning outcomes. As you study this lesson, answer the following questions. What computer component is responsible for establishing the physical connection to the network? What are the first 24 bits of a MAC address known as? Okay. What is the cable that runs from the wall port through the walls terminated into? Which type of switch can perform its function without requiring any sort of configuration? Which PoE standard provides approximately 51 watts of power? All right. Interesting. NIC cards. So, network interface cards, known as NIC cards. All right, let's do it. Woo, my tummy. Ethernet communications are established by either electrical signaling over copper twisted pair cables or pulses of light transmitted over fiber optic cables. The physical connection to the cable is made using a transceiver port in the computer's network interface card, which is the NIC card. The majority of PC motherboards today have a built-in 1000 base-T compatible adapter. Let's keep this in mind. You might use a NIC adapter card to support other types of Ethernet, such as fiber optic. You can also purchase cards with multiple ports of the same type, 2 or 4 1000 base T ports, for instance. The multiple ports can be bonded to create a higher speed link. 4 gigabit Ethernet ports could be bonded to give a nominal link speed of 4 gigabits per second. For the NIC to be available to process the electrical or light signals as digital data, the signals must be divided into regular units with a consistent format. There must also be a means for each node on the local network to address communications to other nodes. Ethernet provides a data link protocol to perform these framing and addressing functions. Each Ethernet NIC port has a unique hardware/physical address called the media access control, which is a MAC address. Okay. Each frame of Ethernet data identifies the source MAC address and the destination MAC address in fields in a header, which is this thing down here. Capture Ethernet frame showing the destination and source MAC addresses. The destination addresses is a broadcast address. Okay. That's the IP address. This is the MAC address. Okay. Let me get the description though. The interface at the top includes standard menu options like file, edit, view, capture, and others. Below the menu bar, there are filtering options and buttons for controlling the capture process. The table below includes the number, time, source, destination, protocol, length, and info. Few lines of code are given below. All right. Oh boy. Shoot. A MAC address consists of 48 binary digits, making it 6 bytes in size. A MAC address is typically represented as 12 digits of hexadecimal. Hexadecimal is a numbering system often used to represent network addresses of different types. 12. A hexadecimal digit can be one of a hexadecimal digit can be one of 16 values, 0 through 9, and then A, B, C, D, E, and F. So A through F. 0 through 9 and A through F. Each hexadecimal digit represents half a byte, or 4 bytes, aka a nibble. Okay. Weird, but we move. A MAC address is typically written out with a colon separating every 2 digits. They may occasionally use a hyphen or no separator. For example, 0 da 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 da. Okay. This is good information to have right here, so I'm gonna save it. A MAC address is broken into 2 distinct parts. The first 24 bits are known as the organizationally unique identifier, or the OUI. This identifies the manufacturer of the NIC. Okay. The last 24 bits are known as the NIC specific, or the network interface controller specific. This is a unique identifier for the NIC controller. When you convert the first 2 digits, the 2 hex digits of a MAC address to binary, the two rightmost digits act as flags. The very last bit shows individual 0 versus group / multicast 1. What? The bit just to its left shows universally administered 0 factory versus locally administered 1 set by software. Example: the address 0113 10 6B 1788 starts with 01, which is 0000 wait 00000001. So that's 1 2 3 4. Okay. The last bit is 1, so it is multicast, and the next bit is 0, so it is globally unique. Okay. Identify parts of a MAC address. Find the part of the address that serves the stated purpose. I told y'all this was gonna be crazy, bruh. Which digit indicates this address is a multicast? 1. Which digit indicates this address is globally unique? 0. Which part of the address identifies the specific NIC in use? 8. Huh? The first 24 bits. Which part of the MAC address identifies the manufacturer? It says the first 24 bits. Wait, 8, 16. Oh, okay. What? Which part of the MAC address identifies the specific NIC in use? It says the last 24 bits are known as the NIC. The last 24. No, this is no. It's frying me, bro. No, this is frying me, bro. Says the last 24. Oh, I had to type it exactly how it was supposed to be in there. So I had it right. No, I had it right, y'all. I had it right. I had it right. Yep, don't fry me. Don't fry me. I had it right. I had it right. No! Bro, let me type. There you go. Come on, bro. They tried to play me, bruh. Nah, they tried to play me, bruh. Lab. Select and install a network adapter. You work as the IT administrator for a small corporate network to accommodate specific network communication needs for an upcoming project. You need to upgrade the network connection speed for the Windows workstation located in the executive office. In this lab, your task is to install the network interface card with the fastest speed into the exec computer. Connect the exec computer to the local area network using the new network card and the appropriate cable. From the workstation's operating system, use the ping command to confirm that the workstation has a connection to the local area network. The local network and internet using the following: local server IP address and the ISP and internet provider. Woof. Woo! That was a lot of reading, bruh. That was a lot of reading, bro. You work as an all right. So I need to install a new NIC card off the dribble. We know we gotta get into the motherboard. I'm gonna watch the video just to see if they like if it's protocol on here, if they do anything they gotta do with like protocol where I gotta unplug everything before I work on it. Do they count points off for that? They shouldn't. It shouldn't. Let me see.
Motherboard. Let's zoom in here. It wants us to use the.
Okay, just go back in there.
Need to upgrade the network connection speed for the Windows workstation. Okay, so we need to find the one with the fastest speed.
Right.
So it doesn't look like we have one connected right now. So let's take a look at our expansion cards. Let's find the one with the fastest speed. So one thing, this 1000 base, but it says SX, which means that it is going to be a fiber type of connection. So we want to find the one that has a network adapter that's Ethernet with copper. So let's look at this one. So this one's 10 base 100. I was just going to look at the connectors and make sure, yeah, so we're good. Oh, yep, so 10 base TX. So we're looking for T, but this one's 10 100. Let's look at this guy. And this guy is 10 100 1000 TX. Okay, so that's what we're looking for.
Okay.
So we're going to grab this guy and get him installed. We'll put him in the top slot there. Oh, I guess that slot's not going to work. It's probably this guy down here, huh? Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the back and make sure that it is, get it connected to the Ethernet. So I'm just going to drag my Ethernet cable down from the motherboard NIC onto this new NIC that we have. And now let's turn it on. Let's go back to the front and we'll turn it on. Okay, now that we're booted up, we can run ping to test this connection. So I'm going to just right click on the desktop and choose open in terminal.
Okay, I know how to do this.
To get our
I know how to
terminal.
do this part. Yeah, I know how to do this part though. You go in there, we ping it. We gonna make sure that it shows 4 out of 4, and then after that we should be good, bruh. Why already got PowerShell up for me? 1.192.138.0.10. 4 out of 4, okay. And then we got ping 198.28.2.254. Looks like we're all good. Let's score the lab. Woohoo! There we go. There we go, fellas. There we go, fellas. All right, let's move on, y'all. Let's move on. That was easy, bro. That's easy. That's easy. Patch panels. The most, well, in most of off in. Dang, what I say? Hey, what I say?
What did he say?
Hey. All right. In most types of office cabling, the computer is connected to a wall port and via cabling running through the walls to a patch panel. The cables running through the wall are terminated to insulation displacement connector. Punch down blocks at the at the back of the panel. IDCs at the rear of a patch panel. The other side of the patch panel has pre-wired RJ45 ports. A patch cord is used to connect a port on the patch panel to a port on an Ethernet switch. This cabling design makes it easier to change how any given wall port location is connected to the network via switch ports. I will need to review this part. It is vital to use an effective labeling system when installing structured cabling so that you know which patch panel port is connected to which wall port. Woo! I had the Ric Flair right there, boy. That was a tongue twister. Oh, y'all think ChatGPT can turn this into like something simpler? Here's a simpler version. The back of the patch panel is already wired with Ethernet ports. Short Ethernet cables called patch cords connect the patch panels to a network switch. This setup makes it easy to change which wall outlets connect to which switch ports without having to rewire the entire network. Oh. Or in even plainer language, think of a patch panel as an organizer for all the Ethernet cables in a building. Small cables connect the patch panel to the network switch, making it quick and easy to move or change network connections for any wall jack. Okay, so I was thinking of it in the right way, but they were just trying to confuzzle me, bruh. All right, so let's move. Wiring a patch panel. I think I want to watch this one for sure.
As a network technician, one of your main jobs is going to be to connect your client devices to the local network. So in this scenario, we have a new workstation that we've set up in Office One, and we're going to connect that to our local network. And before we do that, in the networking closet, we need to activate the drop that we have in Office One. So we're going to go over here to our inventory. We're going to grab a Cat6 cable. And we're going to connect the first in to our Office One port, and then we need to connect it to port 3 on the Cisco switch up here. Properly identify port 3, you look at these numbers up here and you'll see that port 3 with the up arrow next to it tells us the port number 3 is the third port on the top row. So we're just going to connect that. And
okay.
Now that port has been properly activated.
Oh, right
Now
here,
we're gonna
not up
go
here.
to
I would have
our
put it up there.
Office One and go to hardware. First of all, we need to connect the computer to the port on the wall. So we're gonna again take our Cat6 cable, gonna connect that to that port. And the other end, we're gonna plug into the wall. Now this computer currently, it seems, has been set up to obtain its IP and DNS information statically, and we want to switch that over to be part of that information using DHCP. So we're going to go to our network and internet settings, go to Ethernet, scroll down here to the IP assignment, hit edit, and change that to automatic, and hit save. And so now if we go back to network and internet, we see that we are properly connected to our local network.
Wait, do that one more time. No, do that part one more time.
And change that to automatic. So we're going to go to our network and internet settings, go to Ethernet, scroll down here to the IP assignment, hit edit, and change that to automatic, and hit save. And so now if we go back to network and internet, we see that we are properly connected to our local network.
Okay. I think I got it. Lab, connect patch panel cables. You are a network technician for a small corporate network. Today you moved a network workstation to Office One, and you now need to connect the computer to the Ethernet local area network and the internet. In this lab, your task is to connect the workstation to the wired the wired network as follows. In the networking closet, use the appropriate twisted pair cable to make a connection between the patch panel and the switch. Use port off 1 on the patch panel. Use port 3 on the Cisco switch. In Office 1, connect the... all right. Okay. I know how to do this. Watch this, though. Watch this, y'all. No trouble. We good, though. Hey, chat. If you don't follow me on TikTok, go over to TikTok, bro, and help me get 9,800 likes on my live, bro. Like, just go tap the screen, hella. Because I got a goal that I got to hit, bro. For this week, I got to hit 9,800 likes, bro. So, go knock that out for me, bro. Yeah, go knock that out for me, bro. That would be clean. If y'all go over there and just tap the screen a bunch of times, bro. Because I don't know what this stuff does. But I'm going to try to hit every goal on TikTok because that looks fun. All right, so now let's take a look at this. So we want to use our RJ45 cable and put it here. And then put this side of it. It says 3. So 3 is the top. It's the third one on this row. One, okay. It's that one. And then we go to Office 1. Go back here. Zoom in. Come down this way. Cables. Use the RJ45. Plug it in here. And then on the other side of this, plug it into the wall. Okay. So then we go into here. Change this. Oops. Network settings, Ethernet. You'll go down to IP address. Change this to DHCP. and you should be connected. Use the settings app to confirm that the workstation is properly connected to the, okay.
Terminal window. And now I'm going to run ping 190.
Scroll down. No, I already did that. This should be good. That's all that I needed to do. Score lab. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it, y'all. That networking shit is a little easier now that I done took a little course over it. Lock in time. Panda, you see me though? Panda, you see me though? It's getting a little easier because I started studying for my Net Plus before I came back to this. Now it's easier, bro. I'm loving this, bro. I'm so confident right now. Switches. Ethernet switches are used to connect multiple devices inside of a network together. Bangs! What's up, man? What's the word? The switch provisions. W likes, bro. W likes. Boy, I'm trying to hit that goal this week, bro. I ain't know, bro. TikTok live is kind of fun. They give you goals for the week, bro. Blitz caps. Hey, make sure y'all tapping that screen, bro. I gotta hit 9,800 likes for the week, bro. I need 9,800 likes for the week on TikTok. I don't know what them goals do, but now I'm super determined to hit those every time I go live on TikTok. And I think me going live on TikTok is gonna be a thing now. So on my Twitch, sorry, on my Purple app, on my Purple app, I gotta be very professional and make it family friendly. Family friendly. Bro. But yeah, make sure y'all spamming that. Appreciate the heart me, my dog. That's clean, bro. Appreciate you. But yeah, I like TikTok Live. It's very interactive, bro. It's cool. But yeah, let's move though. The switch provisions one port for each device that needs to connect to the network. When a device is connected to the switch, it adds the device MAC address to a table and keeps track of which port it's connected to, what it connects to. When a frame comes in, the switch is able to decode each frame and identify the source and destination MAC address. The switch is able to intelligently forward it to the port that it is matched for the destination MAC address. Okay. So talk to me. The diagram includes a switch at the top, which has multiple ports labeled from G0 to G7. Several computers are connected to these ports, each assigned a unique MAC address. The steps are as follow. Appreciate that follow, DFG Mafia. Appreciate the follow. You clean, by the way. Appreciate the lightning bolt, my dog. Justice with the lightning bolt, boy. Come on. Appreciate you, my dog, for the 25 lightning bolts. With the rolls. Oh my gosh, the rolls. Thank you for the rolls. Pause. 25 roses, man. You super with the GGs. Nah, he cooking. Nah, you moving, boy. Appreciate the likes. Appreciate the 25 lightning bolts. Appreciate the let them cook. Let them cook. Let it cook. Appreciate the two let them cooks, bruh. Nah, you clean. Appreciate them likes, DFG Mafia. My goal is to hit 9,800. I'm here studying my Comptia A+ certification for anybody that need the free information. Tap in, or if you have friends that want to tap in for the free information, these labs by itself cost me roughly $800. So if you are looking to go into a new field of work and want to study with me, go ahead and lock in. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are very clean, by the way. All right, so let me go back to what I was doing. Each assigned a unique MAC address. The steps are as followed. Step 1, host AA sends a frame to BC. Okay. So host AA sends a frame to BC. So G0 goes down to G5. Step 2, the switch receives the frame into a port buffer and receives the destination MAC address from the Ethernet frame. Okay. Step 3, the switch uses its MAC address table to look up the port connected to the destination MAC address. This right here. Okay. Step 4, the switch uses its high-speed backplane to send the frame out on port G5 for host BC to receive. Okay. Creating a temporary virtual circuit. I appreciate them likes. Make sure y'all keep spamming that screen, by the way. Y'all are clean. The goal is 9,800. The goal is 9,800, y'all. Appreciate it. Step 5, none of the other connected devices see any activity on the network while this process takes place. Those other devices are able to transmit and receive at the same time. The table lists the switch port and MAC details as follows: G0, AA, G1, AB, G2, AC. Oh, this is what they're assigned as. Okay, I don't have to read through all of those. I can read it now. Okay. This means that each switch port is considered a separate collision domain, and the negative effects of collisions are eliminated. Each computer has a full duplex. This is where it gets confusing, y'all. Sorry that my camera keeps doing this, but this is where it gets confusing with the full duplexes and half duplex connections to the network, and can send and receive simultaneously at the full speed supported by network cabling and NIC. Okay. Full duplex. Let's save that. When a computer sends a frame, the switch receives the source address and adds it to its MAC address table. If a destination MAC address is not yet known, the switch floods the frame out of all ports. This is important to know. Appreciate them likes, bro. We are currently at 1,600 likes, bro. Appreciate y'all, man. That is clean, bro. We are almost at that goal, bro. How does an access switch forward data? Okay, this is a quick video.
Every house has its own unique address. Every device that connects to a network, whether wired or wireless, has a unique identifier called a media access control address, or MAC address. The switch keeps track of the MAC address to which it's connected. Inside every switch is a table, and this table is of MAC addresses and the port the device is plugged into, and this is called the MAC address table. The switch builds this table based on the data frames passing through it. This process continues until all devices connected to the switch are accounted for, and the MAC address table is then complete. When the MAC address
W2000
directly to the appropriate end device because the table defines which port each device is connected to. It's also important to know that switches are full duplex devices. This means they can send and receive data simultaneously. This, along with the data separation by port, increases both speed and efficiency in data transfer.
Okay. So switches are a full duplex device. Is a full duplex device. Remember that. Connect computers with a switch. In this lab, you will design a small home office network using the network modeler. Adding the computers to the canvas. In the tools tray, you select. Okay, so it's going to tell me how to do it. That's cool. Let's start the lab. Hey, Panda, I am super locked. Appreciate them likes over there, bruh. On TikTok. We almost at 3,000 likes, bruh. We almost at 3,000. Oh, I've done this before. Okay, bet. So, add the computer to the canvas. Okay. Add the computers to the canvas. Drag all three computers. Add a switch, of course. Connect the switches. Connect the computers to the switch. Okay. All right. Now I appreciate all of them likes. Justice, bro. That is very clean, bro. That just helped me get close to my goal, bro. And you said, wait. I ain't even see the hat and the mustaches. Why it ain't pop up on my face? Why it ain't pop up on my face? Why the hat and mustache ain't pop up on my face? Appreciate them the hat and mustache. Appreciate the GGs.
What did he say?
Appreciate the GGs. Bro. Let me see. Click on. Wait. Use the same process to connect the other two computers to the switch. Wait. Use the same process. Okay, I did that. Add the router to the canvas. Come on, bro. That's easy. Connect the switch to the router. Use create link to connect the switch to the router. That's it. That's all I had to do, right? Let's score it. Come on, bro. That's easy, bro. That's easy money, though. That's easy money, though. Y'all be making it seem like this stuff hard, bro. It's not that hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's how you connect the switch. You should know how to connect your switch because you do it at home every day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm locked. Let's do it. If we're gonna do it, let's do it. All right, let's go into the next lesson though. Unmanaged and managed switches. An unmanaged switch performs its function without. Actually, no. Let's see how far we done got into this. Boy, when you thought that it was close to ending, boy. When you thought it was close to ending, boy. When you thought it was close to ending, boy. But we are through a good part of it though. We are good though. We good though. We flying through the parts that we supposed to. So let's get it going. An unmanaged switch performs its function without requiring any sort of configuration. That's what they were talking about in the beginning. An unmanaged switch performs its function without requiring any sort of configuration. You just power it on and it connect some host to it, and it establishes Ethernet connectivity between the network interfaces without any more intervention. Okay. That's good to know. Common unmanaged switches will have 4 or 8 ports as. Oops. Common unmanaged switches will have 4 to 8 ports, as they are typically used in small networks. There is an unmanaged 4-port switch embedded in most of the Soho router/modems supplied by ISPs to connect to their networks. Larger work groups and corporate networks require additionally functionality in their switches. Switches designed for larger LANs are called a managed switch. Okay. A managed switch will work as an unmanaged switch out of the box, but an administrator can connect to it over a management port to configure security settings, such as firewalls, and then choose options for the switch's more advanced functionality. Most managed switches are designed to be bolted into standard network racks. A typical work group switch will come with 24 to 48 access ports for client PCs, servers, and printers. These switches have uplink ports, allowing them to connect to other switches. Dang, I need to know all of that. I need to grab me a water, bruh. Woo, I need to grab me a water. My tummy hurt. Appreciate them likes, bro. We have 4,000 likes, bro. 4,000 likes. That's kind of crazy, bro. Come on. Yeah. A work group switch. This is a work group switch. All right, hold on. Keep them likes coming. Bino, gotta DM me the sauce for this Comptia stuff. I got you, bro. Nah, I got you. I'm give you all of the what's it called? All of the VODs that I have been doing this on. And then yeah. Are you trying to get yours? Let me know. I'm finna give me a water, bro. Already emptied these two out. Hold on, y'all. Stay where y'all at. Stay put. Stay put. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, bro. Is it honestly, bro? I feel like I should have passed this the first time I took it. I failed it like a couple years ago and never came back to it. But that's because I was like taking the lazy route, bro. I didn't order the labs. The labs are extremely helpful, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm having a way better time understanding this. An enterprise might also use modular switches. These provide a power supply and fast communications backplane to interconnect multiple switch units. This enables the provisioning of hundreds of access ports via a single compact appliance. Modular chassis. Bro, what's the proper way to say that word, bro? Chassis rhymes. Okay, chassis. I keep saying chassis. Chassis. Modular chassis allows provisioning multiple access switches. Let me see. Configuring a managed switch can be performed over either a web or command line interface. Viewing interface configuration on a Cisco switch. So that shows that it's a full duplex. Uses 10 by 100 base TX. What is it? Network cabling. Cabling. Packets input. Da 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 da. Okay, hopefully they explain that a little more, but I've seen that before. Power over Ethernet. Power over Ethernet is a means of supplying electrical power from a switch port over ordinary data cabling to a powered device, such as a voice over IP, or VoIP. That's what we usually call it. Handset, camera, or wireless access point. PoE is defined in several IEEE standards. This is where it gets difficult because this stuff is so hard to memorize, bro. This is probably the hardest part of Comptia A+. This is the hardest part, bro. So let's lock in. This is the hardest part, bro. Real talk. You got to remember all of these, bro. Because they're going to ask about it. You got to remember all of these, bro. Yeah, bro. Like, it's sad, bro. It's sad, bro. It's so sad, bro. No, like, no troll. It's very sad. So let's get into it. Let's lock in, fellas. And let's see what we can do here. 802.38F type 1 PoE or 2-pair PoE allows power devices to draw up to about 13 watts. Power is supplied as 350, like what is this? 350 mA at 48 volts and limited to 15.4 watts. But the voltage drop over the maximum 100 meters, 328 feet of cable. Okay. Watch this. Y'all know what I'm finna get into. I wish this was here when I was in school, bro. I wish this was here when I was in school, bro. Like, for real. This is insane. Here's a simpler way to think about it. Power over internet lets a network cable carry both data and electricity, so you don't need a separate power cord for many devices. 802.3 AF standard PoE. That's a fact. Provides up to 13 watts of usable power, good for smaller devices. VoIP, basic Wi-Fi access points, basic security cameras, simple version. Enough power for basic networking devices. 802.3 AT PoE Plus provides up to 25 watts of usable power. Used for devices that need more electricity, such as high performance Wi-Fi access points, pan tilt zoom PTZ security cameras, video conference / IP phones. Simpler version, more power for more advanced devices. 802.3 BT PoE or 4P PoE provides up to 51 watts, type 3 or 73 watts, type 4 of usable power. Can run larger devices like LED lighting systems, digital signs and displays, point of sale systems, other high power network devices. Simple version, the most powerful PoE standard for larger, more demanding equipment. The easiest way to remember it: red, yellow, green. Green, yellow. Yeah. Basic devices is 803 AF basic. So AF is basic. AT medium. BT is high powered. So AF basic, AT medium, BT high power. As the PoE standard gets newer, it can deliver more electrical power through the same Ethernet cable, allowing it to support bigger and more power hungry devices. Oh my gosh, that just made everything so easy. Wow, no, that is crazy. So AF is green. AT contested. BT smothered. Okay now. Okay. So AF, that's green. Easy. AT, it was contested, but it still went in. BT, it's just the hardest one. Okay. So let's remember it again. AF, green. AT, contested. BT, heavy. Dude, I'm learning this in 2K terms. Okay, bet. That's clean. So let me go in here, make note of this. Hold on. No, that was cool. I like that. I like the way that we broke that down, bro. PoE switch. A PoE enabled switch is referred to as in-span power sourcing equipment. When a device is connected to a port on a PoE switch, the switch goes through a detection phase to determine whether the device is PoE enabled. If so, it determines the device's power consumption and sets an appropriate supply voltage level. If not, it does not supply power over the port and therefore does not damage non-PoE devices. Powering these devices through a switch is more efficient than using a wall socket AC adapter for each appliance. It also allows network management software to control the devices and apply energy saving schemes such as making unused devices go into sleep states and power capping. I kind of know what this is, but now I need it simplified. Now I need it simplified. Okay. A PoE switch, power over Ethernet switch, can send both network data and electrical power through the same Ethernet cable. Here's how it works. When you plug a device into the switch first checks whether the device supports PoE. If the device supports PoE, the switch provides the amount of power the device needs. If the device does not support PoE, the switch sends only data and does not send power, so the device is not damaged. Okay. Why PoE switches are useful? Fewer power cords. Devices can get power through the Ethernet cable instead of needing a separate wall outlet. Easier installation. Great for devices mounted on walls or ceilings. Centralized power management. Network administrators can monitor and control powered devices from the switch. Energy, like that's like a remote control, kind of like a remote control ceiling fan. Okay. Energy saving. Devices can be put into sleep mode and have their power usage limited when not in use. VoIP phones, wireless access points, IP security cameras, video conferencing equipment, built-in access control devices. In simpler terms, a PoE switch is a smart network switch that automatically detects whether a device can receive power through the Ethernet cable and safely provides power when needed, reducing the need for separate electrical outlets. Oh, kind of like my Hue lights. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Damn, Chat GPT makes things so much easier when you need it. PoE injector. If the switch does not support PoE, a device called a power injector or midspan can be used. One port on the injector is connected to the switch port. The other port is connected to the device. The overall cable length cannot exceed 100 meters though. Okay. All right, lesson review, y'all. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, y'all. What time is it? Damn near 3 o'clock? Y'all, I've been studying since like 9 o'clock this morning. Almost 10. It was like 9:45. Yeah, that's crazy. W studying? Man, I'm saying no. And you been in here chilling, bro. I appreciate you. Okay. Which IEEE standard is most suitable for devices requiring around 25 watts, such as advanced wireless access points and pan tilt zoom security cameras? AF green bean. AT that mid range. BT is that heavy, but I think it was the medium one. I'm going to check just to make sure though. Y'all can't say that I didn't get it right though. Woo! Come on. Nah, come on. One out of 15, let's get it. Which of the following describes a benefit of using a patch panel? It amplifies signals over long distances. It reduces the need for network cables. It prevents wear and tear on switch ports. It eliminates the need for switches. It amplifies signals over long distance. The wear and tear of switch ports shouldn't be the concern. We're gonna go with that one. Why is it important to label ports on a patch panel? To reduce errors during troubleshooting, to increase network speed, to provide redundancy in case, to prevent data collisions. There you go. Pretty sure that's it. It's either this one or this one though. I want to say it's this one though. I'm gonna fact check myself. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna be upset because I second guessed myself. Come on, nah. Hey, I'm moving, y'all. I'm getting an understanding of it. Oh my gosh. A technician determines that an older network hub that connects 24 workstations is performing poorly due to excessive network collisions. Which of the following network devices would be the best replacement? Oof. Network collisions. I want to say router. Because the router is the one that pushes the data. It pushes the network's data. I'm gonna say, if it's not switch, it's router. I'm going router. That was my first thought. I'm going with my first choice. We're gonna go. I'm iffy on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's the router. What is the purpose of bonding multiple Ethernet NIC ports? To improve signal quality for distant connections? No. To connect both copper and fiber connections simultaneously? I mean, you can. To create a higher speed link by combining the speeds of multiple ports? To allow one port to function as a backup in case of failure? It's this one. What function does an Ethernet switch perform when it receives a data frame? It discards the frame if the destination is not in its MAC address table. It stores the frame until the destination device requests it. It decodes the frame and forwards it to the appropriate port based on the destination's MAC address. It broadcasts the frame to all ports. It's this one. Why does an Ethernet switch eliminate the negative effects of collisions in a network? Let's go back, y'all. Hold on. That just told me that I got this one wrong. That told me that I just got that one wrong. So we go back and we go to that switch. Come on, Panda. Test taking skills, man. That gotta be right. So we're gonna look. Let's see. Why does an Ethernet switch eliminate the negative effects of collisions in a network? It limits the amount of data transmitted to avoid
What did he say?
It limits the amount of data transmitted to avoid congestion. It prevents devices from sending data at the same time. It assigns a separate collision domain to each port. It reduces the number of devices connected to the network. Separate collision domain to each port. I'm pretty sure that that's it. I'm going with my gut. That's what it is, because I said so. Let's do it. Why might a company choose to use modular switches in its network? To interconnect multiple switch units from a fast backplane. Been hearing that a lot. To provide wireless connectivity to employees? No. To limit the number of devices connected to the network? No. To avoid using racks for network equipment? No. It's this one. This one makes the most sense. All of these sounds terrible. What differentiates a managed switch from an unmanaged switch? We just learned this, y'all. A managed switch can be configured with security settings and advanced features. A managed switch does not connect devices within a network. False. A managed switch operates only with specific ISPs. Network. False. Process of elimination. Been working for me, I'm telling you. A managed switch has no physical ports for network connections. False. It's this one right here. A managed switch is, what I read is that the managed switch can be configured. All of the firewalls or whatever can be on there. And then the unmanaged switch is the ones that you could just open, plug in, and boom. It doesn't have to be configured. All right, bet. Woo, let's do it. You are using a patch panel to connect the computers in your building to the appropriate switches. And you need to connect the Ethernet wires from the building network port cables to the patch panel. Where do you connect the wires on a patch panel? Hold on. All right. You are using a patch panel to connect the computers in your building to the appropriate switches. And you need to connect the Ethernet wires from the building network port cables to the patch panel. You connect the wires to the back side of the panel. You connect the incoming wires to the front and outgoing wires to the back. You connect the outgoing wires to the front and the incoming wires to the back. You connect the wires to the front side of the panel. I'm pretty sure the outgoing wires are out the back. I gotta check this one. But I'm pretty sure the outgoing wires is out the back, y'all. Oh, I would've got this wrong, y'all. I would've got this wrong, bruh. You connect the wires to the back side of the panel. I can remember that. You connect the wires. You are using a patch panel to connect the computers in your building to the appropriate switches. You need to connect the Ethernet wires from the building network port cables to the patch panel. Where do you connect the wires on a patch panel? You connect the wires to the back side of the patch panel. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. What is the purpose of a patch cord? It routes network traffic between different floors in the building. No. It connects the computer directly to the Ethernet switch. I think that might be it. It links a port on the patch panel to the port on the Ethernet switch. Is this one right here. Get rid of this one. It terminates cable into IDCs. No, it's this one. It's for sure that one. What is the purpose of a patch panel? To provide a centralized point where wall port cables are connected to Ethernet switch ports. I know that's it, but let's do the process of elimination. To allow wireless devices to access the network through cabling, no. To serve as a power supply for connected devices, no. To directly connect computers to the Ethernet switch without additional components, no. It has to do with wall port cables. How do switches and bridges learn where devices are located on a network? When a data packet enters a port, the destination IP address is copied from the data packet reader. No, it's MAC address. It has something to do with a MAC address. The source IP address is copied to the data packet reader. The source MAC address is copied from the data packet reader. The destination MAC address is between these two, but I want to say the destination MAC address is copied. We're going to check this one though. It's the source. It's the source MAC address. But I knew it had something to do with the MAC address. It's the source MAC address, not the destination MAC address. Okay. That makes sense because it's coming from something. Okay. I'll give myself a half a point on that. Currently, your company is in process of upgrading security in the company headquarters building by installing biometric sensors to limit access to specific rooms. Your network switches are PoE enabled, which allows biometric sensors to connect to switches without an external power source. Which of the following PoE standards is designed for use with biometric sensors? That sounds like PoE plus. That sounds like PoE plus, the medium contested shot. Let me see though. That's got to be right. I think that's right though. No, I think that's right though. We going PoE plus. I think it's PoE plus, bro. What component allows PoE functionalities when a switch does not support PoE? Injector. All right, let's see if I pass. I want to at least pass, but I think I did at least 13 out of 15. Either 13 out of 15 or 12. But watch this though. I passed though. I know I passed though. I know for a fact I passed though. I know I passed. I know I passed. Tell me I passed. Hey! Come on, man. Come on, son. Come on, son. This was my first thought though. But now we good though. I understand this though. I understand this. I am so proud of myself, bro. I'm understanding it, bro. I understand it now, Panda. I understand it now, bro. Come on, bro. Yo. Nah, we good. So where does this lead me to? Damn, that leads me to the next chapter. This leads me to the next chapter. I'm damn near halfway through chapter 5, y'all. Damn. Now this leads me to the next chapter though, bruh. So, do I keep going? Do I keep going or do I give myself a break? Do I keep going or do I give myself a break? Panda, yo, do we keep going? I'm low key getting it in. I'm kind of in the flow here. I'm kind of in, what's it called? Flow state. We keep going. I'm in flow state. That's what it's called. Let's do it. Network cable types. Core 1 exam objectives covered. Explain networking tools and their purposes. Summarize basic cable types and their connectors, features, and purposes. AF, green. AT, contested, yellow. BT, which we on bad timing when we shoot them reds. Okay, bet. That's claim. Once you have gathered and installed the appropriate switches and networking hardware, you will need to install and connect the appropriate network cables. In this lesson, you will learn the different types of network cables and when each one should be used. You will also learn how to properly construct and install network cables. And y'all, after this lesson, y'all, I'm gonna have to get off because I gotta do the dishes, bro. I gotta do my dishes. I gotta cook and I gotta run the Target. But we good though. Let's get it going. Um, Learning outcomes. As you study this lesson, answer the following questions: what type of network cable should be used in environments with high levels of external interference? Which Ethernet CAT standard can provide a maximum transfer rate of 25 gigabits per second over a maximum 30 distance of 30 meters? What type of connector does a Cat 7 cable use? What is the order of wires in a T568B cable? Okay, this is stuff I'm gonna need to know. Which tool is used to fix a RJ45 jack to a patch cord? Which cable type which cable type transfers data using light? Woo, okay. All right, y'all. This another hard chapter right here. Let's lock in. Let's lock in, y'all. Let's lock in. Let's get it going, though. This one's another hard chapter. All right. Unshielded twisted pair. The most popular type of network cable is of a copper wire construction called unshielded twisted pair. A UTP cable consists of 4 copper conductor wire pairs. Each pair of insulated conductors is twisted at a different rate from the other pairs, which reduces interference. Need that. The electrical signals sent over each pair are balanced. This means that each wire carries an equal but opposite signal to its pair. This is another factor helping to identify the signal more strongly against any source of interference. However, the electrical signaling method is still only reliable over limited range. The signal suffers from attenuation, meaning that it loses strength over long distances. Most UTP cable segments have a maximum recommended distance of 100 meters, 328 feet. Okay. I think I understood that, but let's put it in simpler terms. Oops. Just so I'm understanding. Hold on. UTP simplified. UTP is the most common type of network used for Ethernet connections. It contains 8 copper wires grouped into 4 pairs. Each pair of wires is twisted together. The twist help reduce electrical interference and keep the network signal clear. The 2 wires in each pair carry opposite versions of the same signal, which helps device distinguish the real signal from unwanted noise. Why does the cable have a distance limit? As data travels through the cable, the signal gradually becomes weaker. This is called attenuation. Because of attenuation, UTP cable works reliably only up to 100 meters. Beyond that, the signal may become too weak and cause communication problems. Simple analogy. Think of UTP like 2 people talking through a long string phone. Twisting the wires helps block out background noise. But if the string gets too long, their voices become harder to hear. That's why Ethernet cables are usually limited to 100 meters. In short, UTP is a common Ethernet cable made of 4 twisted pairs that reduce interference, but the signal can only travel about 100 meters before becoming too weak. W. All right, so I do understand that then. I understood it then. Shielded twisted pair. Shielded twisted pair, which is STP, provides extra protection against interference. STP cables are typically a requirement in environments with high levels of external interference, such as Cable that must be run in proximity to fluorescent lighting, power lines, motors, and generators. Type. Shielded cable can be referred to generally as STP, but several types of shielding and screening exist. Foiled unshielded twisted pair, which is FUTP. Cable has a single foil shield that surrounds all wires in the cable. This type of cable may also be called screen twisted pair, which is SETP, or sometimes just foil twisted pair, FTP. This type of cable provides a decent protection against electromagnetic interference, which is EMI, and crosstalk at a reasonable cost. Shielded foil twisted pair, which is SFTP, cabling has a braided outer screen and foil shielded pairs. This type of cable provides the best protection against EMI and crosstalk, but is expensive and less flexible. There are also variants with a foil outer shield, FFTP, unshielded with foil twisted pair, UFTP. Cable has no outer shield, but each pair of wires has a foil shield around them. This provides protection against EMI and crosstalk. FUTP, with a foil screen surrounding unshielded pairs. Okay. The screening / shielding elements of shielded cable must be bonded to the connector to prevent the metal from acting as a large antenna and generating interference. Modern FUTP and SFTP solutions using appropriate cable connectors and patch panels facilitate this by incorporating bonding within the design of the element. Okay. Activity. Identify the twisted pair cabling and their intended purpose of use. We just read about this one. This is shielded. I think that's right, though. This is where it's gonna start hitting me over the head, bruh. Um, nah, this one's difficult. Damn, I almost had it. Oh, almost had it. Hey, Panda, hold on. Panda, hold on. Used where wiring. Yeah, okay. One off on bro. This is not true. Fuck. Oh, it is for short. Stop second guessing yourself. I mean, freak. Sorry, over there on TikTok. Okay. Okay. I gotta stop second guessing myself. Gotta stop second guessing myself, bro. All right, let's move. Cat standards. Cat standards, bro. This is where it gets a little weird, bro. This is where it starts getting weird, bro. Why is there I was like a glare on my camera. A category cat standard defines the performance of twisted pair cabling. Higher cat specification cable is capable of higher data rates. Cat specifications are defined in the TIA/EIA 568C commercial building telecommunications cabling standards. Crazy. Reading through these, so 5 is 100, 5E is 1 gigabit. One 6 is 1 gigabit. Also, it has a 10 gigabit. 6A 10 gigabit, 7 10 gigabit, and 100 gigabit. 8 is a 25 gigabit and 40 gigabit. That's not hard to remember though. The CAT specification is printed on the table jacket along with the cable type UTP or FUTP. For instance, Cat5 cable supports the older 100 megabits per second fast internet Ethernet standard. It is no longer commercially available. A network cabled with Cat5 will probably need to be rewired to support gigabit Ethernet. Cat5e would still be an acceptable choice for providing gigabit Ethernet links for client computers, but most sites would now opt to Cat6 cable. The improved construction standards for Cat6 means that it is more reliable than the Cat5e for gigabit Ethernet, and it can also support 10 gigabits per second. True. Where am I at? Though over reduced range, the Cat6a supports 10 gigabit per second over 100 meters. But the cable is bulkier and heavier than Cat5e and Cat6, and the installation requirements are more stringent. So fitting it within pathways designed for older cable can be problematic. TIA/EIA standards recommend Cat6a for healthcare facilities with power over Ethernet. 802.3BT, which is shooting at red, heavy contested installations. And for running distribution system cable to wireless access points. Cat7 and Cat8 cables are not yet widely deployed in typical home or office networks. They are mainly used in high bandwidth, short run installations. For example, in data centers, Cat7's preferred connectors under ISO/IEC standards are GG45 or Terra. While GG45 jacks may accept RJ45 8P 8C plugs for compatibility, a standard RJ45 jack/plug may not deliver the full Cat7 specification. For Cat8, there are two substandards. Cat 8.1 uses RJ45 connectors and is backwards compatible with typical RJ45 systems, while Cat 8.2 uses GG45 or Terra connectors and is not backwards compatible with the standard RJ45 ports. I need to take note of that. Okay. We getting somewhere, y'all. Copper cabling connectors. Twisted pair cabling for Ethernet can be terminated using modular RJ45 connectors. RJ45 connectors are also referred to as 8P 8C, standing for 8 position 8 connect. Okay. Each conductor in 4-pair Ethernet cable is color coded. Each pair is assigned a color: orange, green, blue, and brown. The first conductor in each pair has a predominantly white insulator with stripes of the color. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The second conductor has an insulated with a solid color. Okay. Making sure that I see what they see in here. The EIA/TIA 568 standard defines two methods for terminating twisted pair: T568A, T568B. Twisted pair termination pinouts defined in the ANSI TIA EIA 568 commercial. Okay. In T68A, pin 1 is wired to green and white. Pin 2 is wired to green. Pin 3 is wired to orange and white. And pin 6 wired to orange. In T568B, the position of the green and orange is swapped over so that the orange terminates to 1 and 2 and green to 3 and 6. Okay, I see what they're talking about. When cabling a network, it is best to use the same termination method consistently. A straight through Ethernet cable is wired with the same type of termination at both ends. Twisted pair can also be used with RJ11 connectors. Unlike the 4-pair cable used with Ethernet, RJ11 is typically used to terminate 2-pair cables, which is widely used in telephone systems and with broadband digital subscriber line modems. Okay. I kind of want to simplify this. Okay, so simplified. Twisted pair cable can also use RJ connectors instead of RJ45 connectors. While Ethernet cables usually have 4 pairs of wires, RJ11 cables typically use 2 pairs of wires. RJ11 connectors are commonly used for telephone lines, DSL, internet modems. In short, RJ45 plus 4 wires equals Ethernet networking. Okay, this right here is what I need. Activity. Let's get to the next activity. Hey, y'all, we kind of getting through this fast, bro. I'm rocking with it, bro. Woo! Find each connector until you've identified all of them. Start. Let's do it. B and C connector. F type. RJ11. Oops. That's a. Oh shoot. Oops. RJ11. This is a RJ11, and this is a RJ45. That looks like an Ethernet. Okay, because that's a phone cable. This is a phone cable, and this is an Ethernet cable. Come on, Lil, pay attention. Come on, baby. RJ11. This. BNC. The bigger version that's foiled. This is foiled. This is not foiled. So this is foiled. RJ45, that's that Ethernet. F type. Game time. Let's get it. All right. Let's do it. Okay. So copper cabling installation tools. Data cable for a typical office is installed as a structured cabling system with structured cabling. The network adapter port in each computer is. Wait, hold on. Let's start this over. Let me sit up. Data cable for a typical office is installed as a structured cabling system with structured cabling. The network adapter port in each computer is connected to a wall port using a flexible patch cord. Behind the wall port, a permanent cable is run through the wall and ceiling to an equipment room and connected to the patch panel. The port on the patch panel is then connected to a port on an Ethernet switch. Okay. A structured cabling system uses two types of cable termination. Patch cords are terminated using RJ45 plugs, crimped on the end of the cable. Permanent cable is terminated to wall ports and patch panels using insulation displacement connectors, also known as punch down blocks. I'm going to need to know this. I'm going to need to know these two. I remember seeing this on the exam. The 100-meter distance limitation is for the whole link, referred to as channel link. Each patch cord can only be up to 5 meters long. Permanent link uses solid cable with thicker wires. Patch cords uses stranded cable with thinner wires that are more flexible, but also suffer more from attenuation. I'm going to need to know this. Installing cable in this type of system involves the use of cable strippers, punch down tools, and crimpers. Okay, let's get to it, y'all. Let's do it. All right, cable strippers and snips. To terminate cable, a small section of outer jacket must be removed to expose the wire pairs. This must be done without damaging the insulation on the inner wire pairs. A cable stripper is designed to score the outer jacket just enough to allow it to be removed. Okay. Set the stripper to the correct diameter, and then place the cable in the stripper and rotate the tool once or twice. The score cut in the insulation should not allow you to remove the section of jacket. Most Cat 6 and all Cat 6A cable has a plastic star filler running through it that keeps the pair separated. You need to use electrician scissors snips to cut off the end of this before terminating the cable. There will also be a nylon thread called a ripcord. This can be pulled down the jacket to open it up more if you damaged any of the wire pairs initially. Snip any snip any excess ripcord before terminating the cable. Punch down tools. Okay, this is a punch down tool. So a punch down tool is used to fix each conductor into an IDC. Okay. First, untwist the wire pairs and lay them in the color-coded terminals in the IDC in the appropriate termination order, T568A or T568B, which is that color code. To reduce the risk of interference, no more than half an inch, 13 millimeters should be untwisted. Use the punch down tool to press each wire into the terminal. Blades in the terminal cut through the insulation to make electrical contact with the wire. Okay. Crimper. A crimper is used to fix a jack to a patch cord. Orient the RJ45 plug so that the tab latch is underneath. Pin 1 is the first pin on the left. Arrange the wire pairs in the appropriate order and then push them into the RJ45 plug. Place the plug in the crimper tool, close it tightly to pierce the wire insulation at the pins and seal the jack to the outer cable jacket. Okay. Copper cabling test tools. Once you have terminated cable, you must test it to ensure that each wire makes good electrical contact and is in the correct pin position. The best time to verify wiring installation and termination is just after you have made all the connections. This means you should still have access to the cable runs. Identifying the correct errors at this point will be much simpler than when you are trying to set up inducer devices. You can use several cabling and infrastructure troubleshooting devices to assist with this process. Cable testers. All right, let's figure this out. A cable tester is a pair of devices designed to attach to each end of a cable. It can be used to test a patch cord or connected via patch cords to a wall port and patch panel port to test the permanent link. The tester energizes each wire in turn with an LED indicating successful termination. If an LED does not activate, the wire is not conducting a signal, typically because the insulation is damaged or the wire isn't properly inserted into the plug or IDC. If the LEDs do not activate in the same sequence at each end, the wires have been terminated to different pins at each end. Use the same type of termination on both ends. Okay. Need to know this. This is a cable tester. You will want it to be the same thing. Toner probe. Many cable testers also incorporate the function of a toner probe, which is to identify a cable from within a bundle. This may be necessary when the cables have not been labeled properly. The tone generator is connected to the cable using an RJ45 jack and applies a continuous audio signal on the cable. The probe is used to detect the signal and follow the cable over ceilings and through ducts or identify it from within the rest of the bundle. Disconnect the other end of the cable from any network equipment before activating the tone generator. All right, a loopback plug. A loopback adapter is used to test a NIC or switch port. Okay. You can make a basic loopback plug from a 6-inch cable stub where the wires connect pin 1 to 3 and pins 2 to 6. And pin 2 to pin 6. Okay. When you connect a loopback plug to a port, you should see a solid link LED showing that the port can send and receive. I guess I got to know all of this, bro. A loopback plug made from a cable stub is unlikely to work with gigabit Ethernet ports. You can obtain manufactured gigabit port loopback testers. crosses over, transmit, receive lines. Network taps. Hey, Panda, this is kind of crazy, bro. A network tap is used to intercept the signals passing over a cable and send them to a packet or protocol analyzer. Taps are either powered or unpowered. Okay, a passive test access point, a tap, is a box with ports for incoming and outgoing network cabling and an inductor or optical splitter that physically copies the signal from the cabling to a monitor port. No logic decisions are made, so the monitor port receives every frame regardless if it is corrupt or malformed or not, and the copying is unaffected by load. An active tap is a powered device that performs signal regeneration, which may be necessary in some circumstances. Gigabit signaling over copper wire is too complex for a passive tap to monitor, and some types of fiber links may be adversely affected by optical splitting. Because it performs an active function, the tap becomes a point of failure for the links during power loss. They just do a bunch of big words together and just try to call it a definition, bro. I hate when tests do this, or like certain what's it called? Certain like what's it called, bro? I don't know, bro. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Network sniffing can also be facilitated using a switch port analysis / mirror port. This means that the sensor is attached to a specially attached to a specially configured port on a network switch. The mirror port receives copies of frames addressed to nominated access ports or all the other ports. Man, we need this in simplified terms, though. I ain't gonna fake. Simplified explanation of network tap. Network tap testing access points is a device that copies network traffic so a technician can monitor or analyze data without interrupting the network. Okay, that makes sense. These are the two main types. Passive tap does not need power. Simply copies all network traffic to a monitoring device. Captures every packet, even damaged or corrupt ones. Because it has no processing, heavy network traffic does not affect its performance. Best for simple and reliable monitoring. Think of it like a photocopier that makes an exact copy of every document passing through. Okay. Active tap requires power to work. Copies to and strengthens regenerates network signals needed for some high-speed networks such as gigabit Ethernet over copper and certain fiber optic connections where passive taps may not work well. Since it needs electricity, if the power goes out, it can become a single point of failure and disrupt the network connection. Think of it like a smart copier that not only copies documents, but also cleans them up before sending them along. But it stops working if the power goes out. That makes sense. Okay. Makes sense. Copper cabling installation considerations. Installation of cable must be compliant with local building regulations and fire codes. This means that specific cable types must be used in some installation scenarios. Plenum cable. A plenum space is a void in a building designed to carry heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, HVAC systems. Okay. Plenum space is typically a false ceiling, though it could also be constructed as a raised floor. Excuse me. As it makes installation simpler, this space has also been used for communications, wiring, and some building designs. Plenum space is an effective conduit for fire, as there is plenty of airflow and no fire breaks. If the plenum space is used for heating, there may also be higher temperatures. Therefore, building regulations require the use of wow, that's a crazy word. Not going to say that. Plenum cable in such spaces. Plenum cable must not emit large amounts of smoke when burned, be self-extinguishing, and meet other strict fire safety standards. General purpose. Non-plenum cabling uses PVC jackets and insulation. Plenum rated cable uses treated PVC or fluorinated ethylene polymer. Bro, what are they doing?
What did he say?
This can make cable less flexible, but the different materials used have no effect on bandwidth. Data cable rated for plenum use under the U.S. National. Yo, what's up? Hey, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? Like, why did they just make that difficult to even, That's dumb, bro. Like, come on, bro. Ain't nobody trying to get into all of that. Plenum space is an open area in a building used for air circulation by heating and cooling system, HVAC. It is often found above a drop ceiling or under a raised floor. Because air moves freely through these spaces, fire and smoke can spread quickly. For safety, building codes require a special type of cable called plenum cable when network cables are installed there. Plenum cable is made with fire-resistant materials, produces very little smoke if it burns, can put itself out once the heat source is removed, meets strict fire safety standards. Regular non-plenum cable uses standard. Which one are you talking about for next year, or which one? Let me know. Uses standard PVC plastic, is less expensive, and approximately when does that drop? So I know. Oh, for next year, yeah, we good. No, we good. We're good. We're over good. Super good. So let me know. We are super good. No, we super good. Should not be in plenum spaces because it produces more smoke and can spread fire more easily. Cable markings, CMP, plenum rated cable, safe for plenum spaces, CMG or CM, equals general purpose cable, non-plenum rated. Key point: plenum cable does not improve network speed or bandwidth. Its main purpose is fire safety when cables are installed in air handling spaces. It was in January of this year, so probably around the same time. That's cool with me. I'll be ready by then. Okay, yeah, this made this stuff real simple. Direct burial. So outside plant. OSP is cable run on the external walls of a building or between two buildings. This makes the cable vulnerable to different types of weathering. Aerial cable is typically strung between two poles or anchors. The ultraviolet rays and sunlight, plus exposure to more extreme and changing temperatures and damp conditions, would degrade regular PVC. Conduit can provide more protection for buried cable runs. Such cable can still be exposed to extreme temperatures and damp conditions. However, regular PVC cable should not be. That's probably what they meant. Regular PVC cable should not be used. Direct burial cable is laid and then covered in earth or cement and concrete. Oh, okay. Makes sense. OSP cable types use special coatings to protect against UV and abrasion, and are often gel filled to protect against temperature extremes and damp conditions. Direct burial cable may also need to be armored to protect chewing by rodents. Okay. Optical cabling. We almost done. Cause then I'm gonna get into this one later. This is gonna be the last one that I do like later on today. And then we should be straight. Then after that we move on to chapter 6. Optical cabling. So, woo, this is a lot. But let's get through it though. Copper wire carries electrical signals which are sensitive to interference and attenuation. The light pulses generated by lasers and LEDs are not susceptible to interference and suffer less from attenuation. Consequently, optical cabling can support much higher bandwidth links measured in multiple gigabits or terabits per second, and longer cable runs measured in miles rather than feet. All right, we're going to read through this, and then I'm going to put this in simpler terms in ChatGPT because I know that this is going to be, they're going to like super juice the terminology.
Pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Wins the game at the buzzer!
Yamara raided my stream with 3 viewers.
Appreciate them rate of 3,000, bro. Welcome. I am doing my Comptia. What is it? Damn, bro, my brain is fried. I've been studying all day, bro. And why is my alerts right there, bro? Like, for real. Why is my alerts right there, though? Like, can we be for real, though? Why is my alerts right there? Let's move those, bro. Let me be right here or something. All right. But, yeah, appreciate that rate, bro. I'm doing my Comptia training or whatever you want to call it, bro. An optic fiber consists of an ultrafine core of glass to convey the light pulses. The core is surrounded by glass or plastic cladding. Somebody shout out my boy, though. Wham. What's good, Wham? What's the word, Wham? Plastic cladding, which guides the light pulses along the core. The cladding has a protective coating called the buffer. The fiber optic cable is contained in a protective jacket and terminated by a connector. Fiber optic cables fall into 2 broad categories: single mode and multi-mode. Yo, my brain is fried, dog. Super fried, bro. Oh my gosh. Once I get through this one, bro, I'm done. I'm so done. Fiber optic fall into 2 broad categories: single mode and multi-mode. Single mode fiber has a small core. What's good, bro? You not watching Raw? Yeah, I'm watching Raw. Don't it come on later? I thought Raw comes on at like 9. Bro. I'm gonna be watching that and wow, it's on? Bro, why is Raw on so early? It's 3:00. It comes on at 2:00? What sense does that make? I'm gonna just go back to Netflix and watch it, bro. No, I'm not. Come on, bro. I'm not watching that at 2:00, bro. It's crazy. Single mode fiber has a small core, 8 to 10 microns, and is designed to carry a long wavelength, 1310 or 1550 nm. Infrared. They're in Italy. I thought you said you watched it last week. No, I watched the pay-per-view. Yeah, I watched the pay-per-view last week, but I didn't know that they were gonna be on Raw and SmackDown. Raw and SmackDown in Italy this week. Generated by a high power, highly coherent laser diode. Single mode cables support data rates up to 10 gigabits per second or Nah, they're gonna have to put this in simpler terms, bro. They're gonna have to put all of this in simpler terms, bro. They're gonna have to, bro. They're gonna have to. Yeah, they're gonna have to put this in simpler terms, bro. I'm liking the simplified tool though, because it makes me understand it with not having to do all of this crazy stuff, bro. Because that's crazy though. Yes, I did, bro. I actually did. I watched it with Ken though. Fiber optics simplified. Why use fiber optic cables? Okay. Copper cables carry electrical signals which can lose strength, attenuation, and pick up interference from nearby electrical devices. Fiber optic cables carry light signals instead of electricity, so they are not affected by electrical interference, can send data much farther, can carry much more data, gigabits or even terabits per second. Think of it like this. Copper equals sending messages through electricity. Fiber equals sending messages through beams of light. What is inside a fiber optic cable? A fiber optic cable has several layers. Core, a tiny glass strand that carries the light. Cladding surrounds the core and keeps the light bouncing inside. Buffer, a protective coating around the cladding. Outer jacket protects the entire cable from damage. Types of fiber optic cable. Single mode fiber, very small core, 8 to 10 microns, uses a powerful laser, sends light in a straight path. Best for... We almost had our 9,800 likes on TikTok as well, bro. Make sure y'all hitting that, tapping that screen, bro. Best for long distance connections, internet providers, large campuses, and WANs. Capabilities: speeds of 10 gigabits per or more, can travel many kilometers. Easy way to remember: single mode equals single path equals long distance. Okay. Multi-mode fiber. Larger core, 50 or 62.5 microns, uses LEDs or small lasers. Light travels through multiple paths, best for short distance networks, office and lands, data centers. Advantages: less expensive than single node. Disadvantages: doesn't travel as far, lower maximum speeds over long distances. Multi-mode, multiple paths equals short distance. That's a great way to remember. Fiber connectors. Oh my gosh, bro. Fiber cables plug into devices using special connectors. Straight tip. Uses a push and twist locking mechanism. Common on older multi-node networks. Think like locking a light bulb into place. Subscriber connectors, which is SC. Push in, pull out, easy to use, available in simplex, one fiber, or duplex, two fibers together. Works with both single mode and multi-mode fiber. LC, Lucent connector. Smaller version of the SC connector, push and pull design with the tab. Allows more ports to fit into switches and equipment. Most common in modern networking, easy to remember. ST twist, SC straight push and pull. Standard push and pull. LC little connector. Okay. Fiber patch cords. A fiber patch cord can have the same connector on both ends, ST, ST, SC, SC, LC, LC, or different connectors, ST, SC, SC, LC, LC, ST. Okay. Handling fiber cables. Fiber connectors are delicate. Best practices: don't plug and unplug them unnecessarily. Keep unused connectors covered with dust caps. Dirt or scratches can weaken or block the light signal. Okay. Exam tips. Fiber uses light, not electricity. Fiber is immune to electromagnetic interference, EMI. SMF long distance laser small core. MMF, short distance LED large core. LC connectors are the most common modern fiber connectors. ST uses a twist lock. SC and LC uses push pull designs. Always protect fiber connectors from dust and damage. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Which means I don't have to read this. Activity. Activity. Find each connector until you identify them all. SC. Sup, dude? Sup, dude? No. LC. Okay, I'm gonna do this one more time. The multi-fiber push on, which is the MPO, is this. This is the straight tip with the push and pull. This is the SC. This is the smaller version of this. Smaller version of this. This straight tip. The drop tomorrow is meh. Wait, for real? Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Streamer University.
Streaming University. It's good to be back. Hello? Where's everybody at? It's application day. Hold on.
Bro, what? Nah.
Hello? Anybody home? It's application day. What we doing?
Kai is back, baby.
Oh my gosh. What happened to this place? Are these supposed to be the new uniforms? Damn. God. Who's there? Is that you, Kai? Shh. Chris, what are you doing on there? They're everywhere. Huh? They're everywhere. Who? Why is nobody here? They're taking over. Who? Stop saying that. You're gonna upset them. Who?
Oh, man.
Here.
Oh, this is gonna be insane! Nah. No, this is insane. Are they announcing applications today? I hope they're announcing like the dates for applications, bruh. Because if so, it's going up. Wow. Is it time? Is it time, chat? Is it time? Enroll now. StreamerUniversity.com. Whoa, it might be time. Come on. Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, y'all, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. If we're going to do it, let's do it. Fuck that weak ass drop. Wow. Yo. Oh, snap. This is where the next chapter beginning. Dean of students. Wow. What should I? Club director. Should I go as a student, a club director, or a professor? I kind of do want to go as a professor. Go as a student. Go as a student. Here to learn and grow. Professor, teach a class in your expertise. Club director, lead one of our clubs. No, I did not. All right. Hold on. Let me get that personal information out the way. All right. Come on, chat. Let's do it. Twitch. I mean, no, let's start with Instagram first because that's my biggest one. Oh, yeah. Do I do a 10.5 or 11 to be safe? I'm going to do 10.5. Emergency contact name. Hold on, cause I don't want to leak my mom's number. Hold on. Damn, they need a photo ID and a video admission. This is your chance to stand out, be yourself, be creative, and tell us what you bring to the table. Chat, what do I do? No, what do I do for my creative video? What do I do for my creative video? Minimum 1 minute. I should make a full trailer. I should hire a cameraman with a full trailer. Oh man. Like, how do I make this creative, bruh? How do I make this creative, bruh? I don't want to make a full trailer though. I shouldn't have to make a full trailer. I think I just want to I'm finna just be myself. I'm finna throw in a weak ass fit and we finna record a video. How about we do that? Let's do that. Hold on. I'm finna throw in a fit. Hey, I need everybody to tap in. Hold on. I need everyone to tap in, bruh. I'm finna put it out there on Twitter. Let me put it out there on Twitter. I'm finna Now I need everybody in here. W segment, but let's get it going. I'm gonna have to change the name. Hold on. What do I say? Just chatting. Discord. Put it in my Discords. Oh, you know what I'm finna do an LHC video. I'm finna make it an LHC thing. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm finna make it into an LHC theme thing, bruh. Oh shoot. I got an idea. 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 I gotta get I got an idea. I got an idea. Got an idea. Hold on. Just chatting. Add image. Let's see. Fit to screen though. Fit to screen though. Stretch the screen. And then LAC. Put it behind everything else. Oh yes. Woohoo! Camera. All right. BRB, hold on. All right. Hold on. Okay. So, let me see. Where was I going? Stream Deck, LHC. Okay. Hey, hold on. NBA 2K26. Come on, don't worry. I'm here. I'm finna change it to 2K26, y'all. Oh, hey, I'm finna restart my stream. I'm finna restart my stream. And I'm finna send out a big noti. Finna send out a big noti. Stay here. I'm finna send out a big noti. It's gonna be an LAC thing or whatever. Yeah. BRB.